Hey everybody, it's a rainy Sunday afternoon. I kind of want to go over a subject that's been a little beat to death. Skipjack fishing. I've been for the past 2 weekends and have managed 25 skipjack in the past 2 weekends. I've learned a little bit. Everybody has their own ideas. Everybody wants to say use crappie jigs. I prefer Foley spoons. That would be these little jewels right here. The Foley spoon comes in chartreuse. Got them in chrome. It's what I have the best luck on. This past weekend, weekend before, last weekend, not this weekend. My days are mixed up. I took a day off. White chartreuse tail was doing pretty good. The solid whites were seeming to do a little better. The curly tails. I've seen numerous people catch them on crappie jigs. Okay. The thing that I guess I'm alluding to here is everything works different. We used some that were white and had a bit of a gray tint because they had been kept with some sinkers. So, boy, I've even got gray tubes with some sparkle called Tennessee shad. There's no real formula to skipjack. Big spoons, little spoons, you never know what they're gonna hit. You just gotta try. What I have success with this weekend may not be what you have success with, later on. And I may not have any success with it at any other time. But, we all try. That's what matters, is we all try. The thing that I like to do best is when I make a skipjack rig, a lot of times I use 20-pound test line. I've got 8-pound test line right here. I clip me off a little piece. And like I say, I know everybody has beat skipjack fishing to death. But I guess it's a good subject. I keep, 18 to 24 inches. It's pretty well what everybody seems to like. I prefer to go on the 18-inch side. When I rig up a Foley spoon, just me, nobody else may or may not see it the way I do. My preferred method is to use my spoon on the end. I take my spoon and I just do the ordinary tri-lean knot or whatever you want to call it. This one's been used, so we've cut it off before and tried. But you're 18 to 24 inches, and any spoon pretty much works. Just when I started skipjack fishing, the Foley spoon was the go-to thing to use. So it's my go-to. I have confidence in it. Very seldom do I not catch skipjack on a Foley spoon. Boy, howdy, need some glasses here. Anyway, I'm not gonna try to get that little line threaded through there. You get the idea on your Foley spoon. So you get your spoon, you get it rigged up. Then what I do on top of it is you can do a couple of different things. You can add a swivel to it. Sometimes that'll help. You do get a lot of line twist with a Foley spoon. You can add a swivel to the end of it, clip that swivel on the end of it, But typically the way I like to do it, once I have my Foley spoon on the line, I've got 16, 18, 24 inches, how much ever you want to deal with. To get distance and get weight, I use a small egg sinker, and I go on top of the line above my swivel that I'm going to tie on to tie this leader to. So this would be my main line with a small egg sinker, just depending on how much current I've got and how deep and how fast I want it to go. Again, I'm no expert. I like skipjack fish. It pulls a string. It's kind of like brim fishing. Most of the time you're going to be able to catch a brim. So that's my deal behind that. People want to, like I say, talk about crappie jigs. I think they work good. The curly tail grubs, they work good. That's what was working best last weekend, was curly tail jigs. The best thing about jigs and crappie jigs is you can go with several different colors. You can do different weights. You can find what they're wanting to hit better, because you can put different colors of the crappie jigs on there. You don't have to go with all white. And when you daisy chain a set of crappie jigs on, you can get 2 or 3, and then you can change your colors. Me, I like the heavier weight myself. Of course, I like to get that distance when I cast. You know, be the hero. I can cast further than anybody else. Yep. Also end up losing it on the game walkway. You know, just me. Everybody has their opinion on how to tie it. Some people want to do the tri-lean knot when they tie this. And if I'm gonna be able to do this, I'm gonna have to put on some glasses. Golly, it's bad to get old. And I've got a buddy that's absolutely gonna love hearing me say I'm old. But also, I got pretty dim light right here where I'm at. But anyway, you get the idea. Some people want to take it, they want to do a double knot. They'll pull it out and just do a couple overhand knots. You know, whatever really and truly works for you. I see why now that I'm using heavier pound test lines, because I can't see this little stuff. So y'all just have a lot of sympathy on the old man. See, so when you do it this way, then you can end up, and I know regular dude fishing has done a couple of these, you know, and this is some of the stuff I've picked up from other people. Some things I just pick up on my own. One of the good things about this is you can use different weight on each one. You get a different, you can even tie the Foley spoon. You know, you can go back and, you know, you can tie a spoon on the end of this. You can run a curly tail on one. You can run 2 or 3 other colors or whatever, depending on what the state regs are. You know, like I say, I don't profess to be a professional at this. Just some of my wisdom. I have noticed that using a spinning reel, that's what I prefer to use. It's not necessarily best. I've heard a lot of people talk about keeping your line up, keeping the slack out. Yeah, if you let any slack in any line on any fish, just ask my daughter. She'll tell you about letting slack in the line, especially on a big catfish. I have found, just my personal preference, that you can keep your rod tip down, you can keep it up. I like to keep mine up, put pressure on real fast as I can. That being said, you go into your reels. I myself am looking into getting to our higher speed bait caster to start using for a skipjack reel. For that simple reason, the faster you get the skipjack to the boat, the less time he has time to get off. Most of the time, you can get them with an ordinary reel. I'm not saying go out and buy something just because of what I say. It's just me. My daughter calls me a fishing tackle hoarder. But she'll be all right. I have seen these rigs work right here where you put the cork on and then you drag the Foley spoon behind it and just kind of let it drift. That, I don't have one real handy. I've also heard of that being done that same type with the cork and bending the current and just letting it drift with a sabiki rig and catching fish. I mean, that's an easy way to do it if it'll work for you. You have time to do that, you have the ability to do that, then you can still be casting and catching more skipjack. Sometimes in catching skipjack, that is the name of the game, is numbers. A lot of us will catch our skipjack. We will vacuum seal our skipjack. There are tons of ways to preserve skipjack. There are people that make a saltwater slurry and do it so it freezes skipjack faster. You know, again, for the 100th time, I'm not a professional. I'm always open to learn something. You know, if somebody's got something better that they know that's working, you know, if you want to send me a message and say, hey, I've got skipjack down here that they're hitting on this, that's great. I'll try it. And vice versa. If this goes over good, if I've got, just like I've done today, if they're hitting in my area that I catch skipjack, I'm more than happy to tell somebody what's going on. I think it's more of a networking ability to help one another out than it is to be so closed-minded and, oh, I'm going to keep this secret to myself. Well, it's skipjack, people. We're all cat fishermen. We all use skipjack. Why not share the wealth? You know, sometimes it's a lot of fun to be in competition, saying I caught more than you did, or, you know, I caught 3 on one cast and whatnot. Just my opinion. Like I say, they show both. I actually do show both ways to rig the Foley spoon up. This bottom one's what I was talking about with the weight and running the Foley spoon, and this other with the cork. So they're out there. I gave $1.99 for those. I tend to buy several of them because I do lose them from time to time. One of the things I have learned when I go, and on my tackle bag, I carry a pocket knife if I have my pants on. That includes my shorts or whatever. I just was raised in the South and I carry a pocket knife. The best little deal I've come up with is these little badge holders. I can clip this dude on a set of nail clippers, hang this on my tackle bag, and right there when I'm with my tackle bag, it just extends and extends, and I don't drop them, and I'm not looking all over the bottom of the boat for them or whatever. Sorry to be random, people, but you know, that's just kind of where my mind's going at the moment. You know, I've got friends on here. I'm starting to make a few friends. Hope to get to fish with some of them someday. JP Rule, if you ever get a yard pass. So, you know, there's lots of things that I hope to do in the near future. I have not been able to do the tournament fishing I wanted to do, but being out of it for several years, I'm just getting back started. But with all that said, I appreciate the people that I have subscribed, and I don't have many subscribers yet. I appreciate the views I get. I'm going to keep doing my part because I enjoy it. My opinion is not the opinion to go by or set in stone. So I appreciate y'all. Thanks for taking a look. If you get a chance, subscribe. Give me a thumbs up. I'm not begging for subscribers or a thumbs up. But when you do for me, I do for others. And I think it's a pretty good community and a good thing we got going. So y'all have a good weekend. Let me know if there's anything y'all need to know.